I recently had a question about my own email setup in Kajabi, and I thought, you know what? I bet others are wondering this too. So I'm creating this video to show you how mine is set up and hoping it might help you as well. We'll cover everything from setting up your email identity to adding social media links and offerings in your footer. So let's start with the from name. This is the first thing subscribers will see in your inbox, and it's important for recognition. I recommend using your personal name if you're the face of your brand, or your name from your business if you want to include both. For example, Dianne Kajabi Strategist works well because it's personal, but it reminds people about my business. So just try a couple of different options and see what works best for you. So now you're probably wondering, where do I find the name and how do I change it? It will depend if you're using the Kajabi domain to send your emails or if you're using your own custom domain email. So I'm going to jump into Kajabi and we'll have a look now at where we can find these. So the first thing we're going to have a look at is settings and site details. Then we're going to look at our marketing settings and our domain settings. So navigate to settings in your sidebar, then click site details. I want you to check what you have set up in the title for your site name. So mine says Dianne's demo account, and we're just going to come back to the settings and then go to marketing settings. So now I want you to scroll all the way down until you find email settings. And here you'll see from name. There's a little note in here to say, if you leave this blank, we'll use your site title instead. So if your site title is defined how you want your from name to appear in your email inbox, by all means, keep it the same. If you want it to say something else, so simply just click in that field and then add whatever name you want to be displayed and then save your changes. So if you're using custom domain settings, you want to come back to your settings and scroll down until you find domain. And then you want to scroll down until you see marketing email domain sending. And you can see here, I've just jumped back over into my normal account and you can see that it says custom domain is connected. When you're setting it up initially, you can define what you want the from name to be, or if you already have it in place, you can just click on Edit Custom Email Domain and you can update the name here. Okay, so now that we have our from name set up correctly, let's talk about some essential branding elements for your Kajabi emails. Every email should include links to your website, your social media profiles, and any relevant content, for example, blog posts, podcasts, upcoming events. I recommend including an image of yourself somewhere in your emails, whether it's in a banner or email signature. This helps people instantly recognize you. We connect with faces, not just names or logos. You might want to create a signature block that you can use on all of your emails and use consistent branding within it to build that recognition. Include your name and your title, a photo, your website URL, social media links, and maybe a tagline that reminds people of what you do. These links not only drive traffic, but they also give subscribers multiple ways to connect with you and remember who you are. Finally, use consistent branding in every email. Stick to your brand colors, use the same fonts, maintain a consistent tone and voice, and include your logo in the same position every time. All right, so I'm now going to jump back into Kajabi and I'm going to show you a few ways that you can do this. So we're now in Kajabi and we are just going to navigate to our sidebar, marketing, email campaigns, and I'm going to create a new email campaign. I'm going to select email broadcast, continue. So there are a number of templates that are available, which you can select one that you feel works for you. Or in this case, we are just going to scroll down until we find the simple text. We're just going to select this, get started, and give it a name. Click create, and then we are going to just select all context, save and continue. And then I'm just going to give it a subject, and then I'm going to click into the email area so I can edit the content. So the first thing I'm going to do now that I'm here is I'm going to add either a banner or a logo. And so for this demo, I'm going to add both so you can see what it's like. I'm going to click add section, add logo. If your logo has been added to your site settings, it will automatically come through here. And I'm just going to increase the size as it's quite small on there. You can give it an image alternate attribute text here. And then I'm simply just going to say save, click back, and I'm going to drag it to the top. And then the next thing I'm going to do is add, just show you what it's like to add a banner. So we can say add section, click image, add image, and then you can select an image that you want to use as your banner. And then you upload that image or select a recent one if you've already had it uploaded before. And again, I'm just going to click back and I'm going to drag that to the top. So you can see here in this example, if we have our logo, it's got clearly defined what your name is and what you do. Or if you're using a banner, you can include an image of yourself and some text description, or even include your logo again in here. So the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to add an email signature. So I'm going to say add section, and I'm going to just simply select a text block and click add. I'm going to replace the existing text that's there with my own information. And I'm just going to format this now so that the spacing is aligned how I want it to appear as my signature. So now I'm just going to make sure that both the email address and the website are hyperlinked. The email address is already defaulted in with a hyperlink, but the website hasn't. So I'm just going to highlight the area, click on the link, add the link here, and also include it as my title and click open in a new window. It's just prompting me to add the HTTP preference, and I'm going to click OK. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to add my branding to this. So I just highlight that website link and I'm going to select one of my branding colors. I'm going to bold it and I'm also going to underline it. And I'm going to do the same for email address as well. I'm going to grab my branding colors, I'm going to bold it and underline it. I'm just going to save those changes. And you also might want to include a tagline or a sign off, regards, thanks, whatever it is that is relevant for you. Now we're going to add our offerings. A couple of ways I add them is either via call to action buttons or the announcement option. I personally prefer to use the announcement as I think it looks nicer on the page. It's up to you. It's best to try a couple of different ways and just find out what works best for you. So we're just going to click on back. And first of all, we will do it as a button, so a call to action button. So I'm just going to add a section, add a button. Okay, so the first button that I'm going to add is book a call. Then I'm just going to add the URL. Then I'm just going to change the color of the button. I'm just going to select one of my branding colors. Then I'm going to save those changes. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to use the announcement option. So I'm going to add that URL back in. I'm going to change the text name. Then I'm going to change the background color. I'm going to select one of my branding colors. And then in this case, I like to change the padding that sits on the announcement bar. So I'm going to just reduce this to 5. And on the mobile layout, I'm going to do the same. And this just reduces the width of that block and allows me to add a couple extra without taking up too much space. I'm just going to click save. And I'm just going to create a couple more announcements. So once I'm happy with everything that I've set up for my announcements, I'm going to click on Save Section and I'm going to give it a name. There's a hot little tip here. As a way for you to know what each of these save sections are, I use the naming convention. In this case, it's email. So I'm adding email and then it's a footer and it's for announcements. I'm going to click Save. Now, this is a great feature that Kajabi have only just released in the last few months, and it allows you then to save a section that you're happy with and then reuse it in other parts of, in other email campaigns, which is just incredible. It saves so much time. So we're just going to continue on here. I'm just going to come back one step further with that announcement. I like to rename it so I know what it is. So book a call. And then I'm going to duplicate it in this case for this page, for this email, sorry. So just click duplicate. I'm going to say book a VIP day. And then I'm just going to update that link and then change the background color so that it stands out. Then I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to duplicate it again, change the text, add in a URL, and again, change the background color. And if the text is not very visible, then you can also just change the color of the text as well. So you can change this text color so that it is darker so that it can actually be read. I'm going to save those changes again, and I'm just going to rename that announcement again. And then one final last one, I'm going to say follow us on Instagram. And I'm going to add my Instagram link. And then I'm going to update that color again. So that background color, and I'm just going to pick up something in my branding colors. And again, I might not like the black on the green, so I can just change that again to another color in my branding kit. Just click save. So we're just going to rename this last one, follow me on Instagram. And at least you know now what these actual announcements are for, and it makes it easier when you're dragging and dropping. So you might want to change the order in which these appear. You might want follow me on Instagram first, followed by book a call, book a VIP day, and then upcoming events. So just go in and see what works for you. Trial a few different options here. And the last final thing is I want to show you is that how you can also include social icons directly into your email. So you can click social icons, add. There are some default colors that come through, or you can change it to black on white, white on black, black, white. Choose what works for you. Then replace the standard Kajabi links with your links. I'm just going to replace Kajabi Facebook. I'm going to replace the Instagram with my Instagram. I don't have TikTok, so I'll take that out. Take the Twitter account out and add anything else that you, any other social media links that you use. Click save. And again, this is a great one. Once you're happy, you can save this section and then use it on your other emails. Some other things that you might like to include in your emails are add a section and use text and image. And here, this is another way. Instead of using the announcements, you can always have images here and some information about the offer that you have. So you could just simply add an image, either upload a new one or select a recent one. I'm just going to grab one that's in my recent. So once you have an image, you can update the text. And this is an instant way, if you have an image of yourself, for people to recognize you and they know exactly who that email is coming from. So there you have it. There are a number of different ways you can design your email to work for you every single time you send an email. These small additions will make a big difference in how subscribers connect with you and remember your brand. They will instantly recognize your email when it lands in their inbox. What other elements do you include in your email footer? Share your ideas in the comments below. If you found this tutorial helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more Kajabi tips and tricks.